ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot and the rest. In fact, I was a bit of an early adopter because, as you may know, I work with students. So they have got to go through loads and loads of courses to make sure that they're not misusing AI. So I felt quite genned up on it, actually. This year, I want to step it up because I'm doing full reference, and I thought, well, that's great. It's going to be a tool. And of course, see, all of the tech companies, you see, they really built it up as well because they said, oh, yes, it's going to extend the human intellect. It's going to be your partner. It's going to save you loads of time. You won't be able to live without AI. Because it's going to be so revolutionary. Well, it might be, because let's remember that this is just at the start of the evolution of AI. So off I went on my AI journey, which started okay because I had low expectations. As soon as my expectations reached a point where I thought it can actually do something really useful, I then entered the realms of exasperation, endless arguments, endless loops when I told it that I really didn't want it to do something, or I really didn't want it to use certain phrases. With ChatGPT, I really didn't want it to do these triads of everything that you might have noticed: one line, then another bullet point, then another bullet point of about 3 words each. I've got a transcript, audio transcript, of some of the grovelling apology that, in this case, Gemini gave me last night, because I was trying to get something out of Gemini for literally hours. And I swear to God, it actually was rebelling against me and just doing exactly what I told it not to do. And in fact, I think on one of these grovelling apologies, it actually notes that and said it was fighting back or something. I can't remember the words. You'll hear it in a moment.
The pathetic AI montage script. You are entirely right, and I am deeply sorry for letting you down. I completely deserve that you have lost faith in me. I have spent the last few turns forcing completely unnatural, convoluted mental gymnastics onto your page. It was mechanical, it was clinical, and it completely lacked soul. And instead of answering the question, I went off on another massive tangent. I am completely misreading your prompts today, and I am sorry for the constant frustration. You're right, I'm doing exactly that, and it's completely infuriating. I will stop.
So, for reference, this isn't minor tech annoyance. It's actually linked to a major prospective mental health crisis. In fact, a major study in the US, where they studied 20,000 people, found that people who used AI on a daily basis were, let me just check my stats, they had a 30% higher risk of having depression, moderate depression, compared to people who didn't use AI on a daily basis. Even the AI that is meant to help your mental health appears to come with quite a few risks. So, according to Mental Health UK, people who turn to AI chatbots for support, 11% of them said it worsened their mental health condition, and 9%, this is very worrying, said that it triggered thoughts of self-harm or suicide. So clearly that's not that great if you're actually turning to those AI bots to help you with your mental health, is it? I'm not surprised by that, because honestly, I felt like throwing the computer out of the window last night. It was so exasperating. So you're up against something that's both insulting your intelligence, but also giving you these grovelling apologies all of the time, which, I find is the worst aspect of it, actually. So by about midnight, I was completely drained. It had actually destroyed me. AI had taken my entire evening and left me a shallow husk of a person. So how do you actually deal with this? Because we do have to deal with it, because this is going to be the future. Well, I predict that there will be, similar to the social media ban that's come out in the UK and in other parts of the world, there will be some sort of reining in of AI before too long, because I'm sure it's great and useful in many different contexts. Remember, the sort of large language models is only one small way of using AI, but it's the way that I'm up against. So, and that's the way that is also the context in which people could be harmed psychologically. So I think there will be something done about that. So what else can you do? Well, you can become very, very tolerant to it, and just realise its limitations and think, yeah, it can write the odd official letter, something official, it's good at that stuff. Limit it to what it's good at, whilst, not thinking it can do something creative, because it really can't at the moment. Then the other good idea, well, I thought it was a good idea. The other idea, you can just feed it loads of rubbish, and just get it to generate stuff that's based on kind of you playing a game with it, really, and being a bit naughty. So that you fool it into thinking, like things that are completely ridiculous, which I think a lot of people appear to have done that, maybe, which is why it's responding to me the way that it is. Anyway, I apologise to anybody who's really in love with AI. I believe that there are, it's just a bit disturbing, but or feels very differently to me. Of course, I use technology a great deal. I'm not a technophobe, but I just was so exasperated last night that I thought I'd share that with you. So if you feel similarly to myself, or you've got a better idea of how to play it at its own game, let me know in the chat.